Today we're making a brief stop at Timberline Lodge on Mount Hood in Oregon. You ask, what does this have to do with blacksmithing? Well, I hope to show you, hope to take a look around, but this place is full of things of interest to the blacksmithing, from this 300+ pound anvil on display in the lobby to ironwork everywhere. Timberline Lodge was built as a WPA project during the Depression and put artists and craftsmen back to work to build this spectacular lodge. From stonemasons to wood carvers, carpenters, weavers, seamstresses, and of course blacksmiths. And much of this stuff was done up here. Some of it was done other places, but there's just a huge amount of ironwork to look at. So let's take a look around Timberline and see what there is to look at. Here's some of the door handles on the door we're going in. We can't actually use what would be the main entrance because it's drifted over with snow right now. This is the main lobby, and one of the first things we encounter is this very nice sandwich board with some spectacular forged ram's heads. I speculate this may have been done by Daryl Nelson. Some of the Pacific Northwest blacksmiths have done some work up here since the original construction. This sign is probably about 8 feet tall, and these particular ram's heads, the neck is inch and a half by 1 inch or inch and a quarter, and he's from tip of horn to tip of horn is probably close to 18 inches. This is one of the Fireplace grates. Excellent hinge knuckle rivets. Nice little, very smooth running slide bolt. For those of you that like railroad track, these andirons are made from rail. And these are actually drawn out and scrolled. And you can still see the hammer marks where they were drawn out. But all made out of big railroad rail, nothing little. It's a nice handrail. We got into a community room. It's about 1 inch thick, 2 inch wide material. And this very nice dog's head on here. All riveted joinery, mortise and tenons. Nice pass through in the middle. Interesting light fixtures. And massive iron bands holding timbers to newel posts. This particular post is probably close to 2 feet in diameter. Some fantastic stuff here. Another nice set of hinges. Look at the detail on this hinge pin. The hinge pin is probably inch diameter. The strap itself is 3/8 by 3, all with square-headed lag bolts. Very nice hasp. How about a little boot scraper? And I say a little quite jokingly, this thing's probably 2 feet wide. These end bars are 3/4 by 3, and it probably stands about 16 inches tall from the bottom here to the top. Riveted together, some chasing.
Let's go down to the high school one.
And here's just a sample board of some of their hardware. These things appear in various places throughout the lodge. Some very nice cabinet pulls, thumb latches. And here are a few more boot scrapers that aren't mounted anywhere. I don't think I've got the ambition to scroll anything up quite that big, but we might have to make something inspired by this to put by the back door of the house. And of course, a small selection of tools that were actually used during the project. Here's a little security gate. Some stylized animal heads, and those appear to be all split out of a bar. It's hard to say for sure. Some detail on the vertical bars. This Northwest Coast style is very distinctive. Another bear head. Again, I wonder if that might be from Daryl Nelson. This is very much like his kind of work. So, nice set of very big fireplace tools. Probably 3/4 inch square bar, and that poker is about 4 feet long. Had to go to a light here. It's a little bit dark in this stairwell, but this is a rail, and when I ever get around to doing a rail for the log house, this is what we're going to be inspired by. These rails with this pine cone detail are all over the lodge, as well as very uniquely carved newel posts. Poker's hanging upside down, but it's another spectacular ram's head. And a very gracefully tapering poker with either a split or a forge welded hook on the end. Here's another one of these carved newel posts, the lamb on the top, and another spectacularly done iron bracket to help hold the whole thing together. Again, all installed with square-headed bolts. And this railing, of course, winds very nicely around the newel post, which is a lot of work. And over on this side, you can see how they very simply dealt with joining the two pieces of railing together, just a half lap with a rivet. Now the other side of this door is quite spectacular. Unfortunately, there's a big snowdrift on the other side, so we can't actually open it. And I'll see if I can find a still from a previous trip. A 3-part boot scraper. So here's the latch mechanism. This thing is huge. This square bar here is probably 1.25 to 1.5 inch square bar. And the whole plate is probably 2 feet tall. Great big massive stuff. Some more ironwork, a beaver themed andiron. There's another very similarly styled gate. This one's a little bigger, has a little different detail. Again, massive hinges with that acorn detail at the top. This is probably 1.5 inch hinge pin. All traditional joinery, mortise and tenon, pierced, pass-through, splits, rivets. Not an arc weld in the bunch. And runs smooth as glass. Just more of these nice iron brackets. There are quite a few of them. There's just an interesting mural on the wall. These lights are fairly contemporary, but they still feature forged brackets, and they're hanging by forged mounts. And these beams have big forged brackets to help hold everything together. Lighting's a little bit better over on this side. You might be able to see some more of these big forged anchors that help hold these trusses together. Big straps on the corners. There's the bracket, and there's some of the, oh, for lack of a better term, we'll call it a chain. Well, here's another out-of-the-way corner. The entrance to the Blue Ox bar, which of course is closed right now, but here's some more spectacular rail work. Another great big door handle down here. The ironwork is just everywhere at this place. And there's the door to the Blue Ox. It fits that nice pointed archway. Big hinges set in the stonework. I particularly like the way the top bars have been brought together with a little gusset plate here. There's a little grill over the cashier's station. Some very interesting work. Look at all these decorative rivet heads. Now, to confirm my suspicion that a lot of this stuff was made by Daryl Nelson, he's got some of his work here in the gift shop. So there's no doubt that some of these more contemporary gates were done by Daryl. I'd like to see how he did these. We'll have to have him out to the Rocky Mountain Swiss Conference again and see if he'll demonstrate that. But I think I'm going to have to let a massive Daryl Nelson fireplace poker follow me home, because that is so spectacular.
And he made the mirror.
There are even some display racks here that Daryl Nelson made. And these big overhead racks for the blankets. Even I don't think Daryl's on Instagram or any of that stuff.
Very nice.
Thought I'd take another quick look at Daryl's display rack
I
here.
buy more when I go to blacksmith.
Floor standing multi-tiered pot rack of sorts. Very nice hooks.
How long have you been doing this?
It is fun.
Well, it's just a quick tour around Timberline Lodge. I hope you enjoyed looking at the ironware. If you're ever in this part of the United States, this is close to Hood River, so if you come down the Columbia River to Hood River and come up into the mountains, it's only about an hour from the Columbia River, and it's well worth the detour if you're in the area. Spectacular ironwork and blacksmithing work here at Timberline. But that's it for now. Get out to the shop, make something, stay safe, do wear your safety glasses, and we'll see you later. Thanks.
I'll say